KTRS.
Our region's extreme heat warning will expire at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Otherwise sunny for the rest of the day. We may get just a bit hotter, perhaps a high of 97. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 77. There's a 30% chance for rain tomorrow, a high of 95. Then that chance of rain will continue on Thursday, but cooler with Thursday's high, 80 degrees. Right now at 3:09, sunshine, 95 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
Here we are again. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Heidi Glaus with Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert. We've got a lot to get to this afternoon. First up at 3:30, we're going to talk to Jordana Miller, ABC correspondent over in Jerusalem. It looks like this aid situation in Gaza just seems to get worse and worse. I can't look at the pictures. It's just awful, and I feel like there's nothing we can do about it as far as that goes. But we'll talk to Jordana and get the latest as to what's going on there. We'll also check in with our favorite saucy chef, Chef Mel. She has got a new collaboration in the works, so we'll tell you about that and the possibility of a new sauce hitting shelves. That's coming up at about 3:50, as we do on Tuesday afternoons. We talk to the editor of the St. Louis Business Journal. A couple of headlines grabbing our attention today. The first one, Bar K abruptly closing all 3 locations. And I know a couple of neighbors, I mean, that was their go-to spot because you could just kind of let the dogs roam free, and it was full bar and restaurant, so a great place for so many people. And not only are they closing, it looks like they're not going to refund those yearly memberships, which I think is a little shady.
I don't know if it was the Business Journal, and Erik will tell us, but wasn't there a story about some of the problems they were having?
There was a lawsuit about the owner of the building and not getting rent, and I think that has been settled. But again, we'll talk to Erik Siemers coming up here at about 4:20.
I was working at a restaurant when they switched ownership, and on his way out the door, the previous owner sold a bunch of gift cards, took the money, and left the new owners holding the bag.
What a scam.
It was real. It was really something.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
people would come in with the
shady
gift cards, and we're like, well, we don't really honor those. And then the manager would have to come over, and, you know, it was a whole thing.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a tough situation. So we'll talk about that with Erik. In the 5 o'clock, we'll get the latest on this awful shooting in New York. The pictures of him just carrying in this long
walking across the plaza
casually.
Is that just how numb we all are? That we just don't even kind of stop and double take when this guy is carrying this gun in? It's just crazy, and my heart hurts for the people, the victims' families, as far as that goes. And then the other crazy story coming out of Arkansas with that couple that was on that trail, and thankfully their kids left unharmed. But was that a targeted attack or just random?
They seem to be working on that. That's their working theory, it seems like.
Because they haven't even been in that area for, I think they
Months,
just moved
wasn't it?
there.
Weeks?
Yes, weeks.
What's this story?
At a park in Arkansas.
Devil's Den,
Is that
I
Northwest
think.
Arkansas, maybe?
I was trying to figure out. I don't think it's too far from Little Rock, but I could be wrong on
Anyway,
that.
they on a hike with their kids. They'd only been there a few weeks, taking their kids on a hike. They're new to the area and everything.
Daylight. I mean, broad daylight.
And they were stabbed to death.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Both parents.
So just kind of awful stuff, but we'll try to lighten it and keep you slightly entertained here on the show this afternoon. And, of course, informed of the things that you need to be informed of. I wanted to get your thoughts on legendary Chicago Cubs infielder Ryan Sandberg. I know not only was he a fantastic ball player in my mind, but just always so good looking. Only 65 years old. And
I have no comment on that. Not that it makes me uncomfortable. I just never thought of it.
That way.
Yeah.
Had one of his best games ever against the Cardinals. What year was that?
That was
When
1984.
He hit 2 home runs?
It was the Sandberg game, they call it. 1984, Cardinal-Cub rivalry. It should have been the Willie McGee game, except Sandberg, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, both of them off Bruce Sutter, the closer.
Wow.
And Willie McGee hit for the cycle that day. It was
Seriously, what a game.
It was it's one of the best games I've ever been to, and my team lost.
Yeah.
That's how good it was. I was at the game.
Wow.
It was a beautiful June afternoon, and my buddies and I had seats first row of the upper deck right over third base, and until the very end, it was.
You were on the edge of that seat.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a great, great game, and he obviously is a fantastic player, Hall of Famer, and really was the face of that franchise for a long time.
Well,
and well deserved and well earned in baseball. He will be missed by many. And
seemed like a good guy. Like I read Ozzie Smith's post, and everyone seemed to have good things to say about him.
No negative things. Everybody really respected and liked him. He was kind of a prankster and a fun-loving person, but not a goofball. He was serious about the game, and he was great.
Yeah.
Did he manage? Was he in the booth?
No.
No? After the game?
I don't know if he ever did any extra coaching. You know, some guys like Jimmy Edmonds would be down at spring training.
Yeah, and I think
whatever.
they said that he was down at spring training a lot, and guys could turn to him, but I don't think there was ever a professional role.
I don't believe he was ever on the staff.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he was.
Bob Costas nationally televised on NBC that game in 1984.
We're watching on the monitor there as you played that highlight, and like I would have been right where he was running there. I was right above him.
Gosh.
First, Wrigley's so small. You think, well, upper deck. You're right on top of it. We were in the front row. I could have thrown something at the third baseman. It was, they're great, great seats and a great ballpark.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a fun ballpark.
As soon as he hit that, the reaction from Bruce Sutter.
Oh, yeah, I watched it last night. And it was just like, you just know.
He knew. He was so mad.
It looked like he kind of wanted to throw his glove, but he didn't.
Cards wearing the baby blue,
Since
by the way.
Since we had some fun the other day with some of the diner foods that are no longer.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some canned foods that were popular 50 years ago that no one eats anymore. I guess that there was a canned mac and cheese. I had Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, we had
like
that.
It's the ravioli.
Yep.
But I don't remember a canned mac and cheese. Of course, SpaghettiOs, but aren't those still around?
I just bought. Okay. I'm going to tell you 2 things that I just realized about kids.
Okay.
Number one, there is on the Disney Channel every morning, Mickey brushes his teeth. And they got a whole song and everything. And Finn watched it, and he turned to me and he said, Daddy, I'd like to brush my teeth now. And I was like, well, come right this way.
You mean you haven't brushed them prior to this?
Remember we talked about that.
No, we do.
A little while ago.
Okay.
Occasionally. You brush his teeth occasionally.
Yeah. We try to get it
messing
in
with you.
every other
But
day.
he's fought it a little bit.
He's fought it.
pushed back, and now he wants to go.
But these things, on the PBSs and the Disney channels, they try to teach, good habits to the kids. It works. I'm at the grocery store the other day. I'm with Finn. I pull off a SpaghettiO can. And I say, do you eat these at school? Would you eat these at home? He goes, yuck, blech. I pull off these same exact products, SpaghettiOs, but in the shape of Mario and Yoshi. And he goes, oh,
I'm in.
let's get those. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
It works.
But, I mean, there's a reason that advertising has long been a career for so many.
Yep.
Look at the show Mad Men and how it works. What about canned chicken and a canned whole chicken, according to this? Sweet Sue, I do remember Sweet Sue had a canned chicken and dumpling. I don't know if they still do, but
Was it deboned?
yeah, kind of
Whole
like
chicken.
right there. You can still buy the canned chicken, kind of like you can buy the cans of tuna, but I've never done it.
Was Sweet Sue SIOUX or was it SUE?
I think it was SUE, but I
Okay.
could be wrong on that. Campbell's Pepper Pot Soup. This was something that was primarily in Philadelphia. I've never even heard
I
of
haven't
it.
either.
Deviled ham. I do recall
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
which is just, of course, Spam, which I know a lot of people still use, but this refers to Spam spread. So did they
I
just
do
kind of
recall that, but we never used it.
ground it up?
Yeah. I'm surprised because my parents grew up poor that we didn't do Spam. We would fry bologna.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't do Spam.
I remember even putting frying bologna in the microwave. When we first got our microwave,
Did you?
it'd curl up a little
Yeah,
bit on the
yeah.
sides. You put a little cheese in it.
I feel like my grandparents lived through the Depression.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably kids or teens through the Depression. Their kids, my parents, baby boomers.
Right?
Bob is one of them.
Yep.
They ate what their parents got used to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now I think this far removed, I don't think we would stand for half of these things.
Well,
You know, you bring a canned whole chicken home from the grocery store. Can't you
Well, it
just
was
buy
either-
a rotisserie chicken for
You
$5?
eat that, or you don't eat it all back
Yeah.
then. But a rotisserie chicken wasn't even an option.
no, it
That-
wasn't in those days.
You know, maybe go wring the neck of a chicken and bring it in. I mean, I saw that more than once.
Did you?
Of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
How do you pull all those feathers off?
Well, it's part of the job.
Yeah. You hope you don't have it.
Yeah.
Sweet Sue still makes the chicken and dumplings. Dinty Moore also makes a good chicken and dumplings in a can. Our friend Liz said Franco American had a canned mac and cheese. It was gross.
Franco American. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that company.
Somebody else said Showboat canned mac and cheese. It was gross. Apparently, that is the consensus. I had chicken in a can from a food pantry about a year ago. A friend gave me, and it was really good. And Sweet Sue still makes the chicken and dumplings. A lot of people saying that. So interesting stuff. What about old El Paso canned tortillas? I've never had that and didn't
We've
know
had
it was a
some of the
thing.
old El Paso products, but not canned tortillas.
Yeah.
What was the chef? Was it Chef Boyardee with the pizzas?
Oh, that
Oh, I loved those.
we have a strong Italian presence in our community.
Yeah.
We have great pizza all over.
Yes.
I didn't have a real pizza until I was a teenager and could drive my own car.
Really?
The only pizza we had was Chef Boyardee. That's all we had.
Same here.
I didn't know any better.
And I loved it, and we would often kind of add to what was in the box.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
so we would have our grilled, fry up some hamburger.
That's what we would have.
And if you wanted to put a little more cheese on it, we'd actually put like a cheddar or American cheese on it. And I got to say, there were at least one New Year's Eve in college where that's what we did. We stayed in, made a Chef Boyardee pizza, and watched movies.
So when I was a kid, it was a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We'd all get in there and do the dough and pour the stuff on there.
Absolutely.
It was really fun. But then I realized there was real stuff out there.
Yeah, there was a
When I broke away.
better pizza. But there was always a box of Chef Boyardee pizza in our
Absolutely,
cabinet
Heidi.
at all times.
I just Googled it. It looks like they still make this.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has talked about it. I do not remember, but you would make the crust yourself?
Absolutely. It came in a powder form, and you roll them with some salt and water and
Roll it out with a pan.
with a pin.
That's something you and Finn would love
Yeah.
to do together.
So we buy Emo's crusts.
yeah,
they
but
just
they're already
kinda come
there. You don't get your
pre-made.
hands dirty. You got to
Well,
get the
do I want to?
flour.
Do I
yeah.
need to?
It'd be a fun
Yeah.
thing. Say, this is, Bob, at my radio station, yeah, this is how the old people used to do it.
Yeah. And I would say I loved doing that with my great aunt. And then also when they would hand make the dumplings and they'd have flour all over the kitchen table so they could roll it out and the dough or the dumpling didn't stick.
If I bought one of these right now,
Yeah.
do you think you guys would still think it was good?
Yes.
Yes?
I think the crust is fine, so it depends on the toppings.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I would love it. I want you to make that.
I will go to the store tomorrow.
Do we have an oven here?
Yes, I'll go to the store tomorrow morning before work.
Pizza for work.
And I will get a Chef Boyardee pizza kit.
Will you get some hamburger though too that we can brown? I mean, we gotta.
Oh,
you
yeah, we
can't
gotta have-
just.
no.
With the
You can't just
add-ons.
do the. I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? She said hamburger because she doesn't eat pork.
Oh, so
no.
you don't eat pepperoni?
I don't love it, but if you want to do pepperoni,
I just thought it might be easier.
It probably
a lot
is
easier.
Oh God.
But the hamburger is better because that's how we did it.
That's right. I mean, if you're gonna get the same flavor profile that we did growing up,
That's right, Heidi.
then that's what we
add
do.
hamburger to the list.
Somebody
Bring
said-
in a pan.
We
Yeah, you'll be
still
fine.
eat it on the regular. I've since introduced it
good.
to my kids. They like it, and we get creative too.
Yeah, good.
How about that? Yeah, you can still purchase Chef Boyardee pizza. We're gonna try it tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you old school or are you new school? Doesn't really matter, because if you need a hardware store, where do you go? Schnarr's Hardware, and their 2 locations, East Lockwood and Webster Groves, and of course their world headquarters on Clayton Road. You see, Schnarr's Hardware is one of those places where you walk in and you say, this thing broke off my toilet. Do you have one of these? Yeah, follow me. And they take you in the back and you pass 19 different aisles of things that you wish you could stop and look at. And do you need a 3-inch or a 4-inch? I think I need a 3-inch. Great. I'll buy 2 and I'll bring the other one back. That's why Schnarr's Hardware has been so successful. It's the customer service and the attention to detail. Whether you need fertilizer or whether you need something for the kitchen, maybe you need something for the big green egg. 2 locations, 1 great hardware store, Schnarr's Hardware. And yes, the popcorn is always free, as well as the smell, because it smells like a hardware store. East Lockwood and Webster Groves, and on Clayton Road in Ladue, Schnarr's or schnarrs.com. We'll see you there.
Looking for a new kitchen or bathroom? Call me, Anne Marie Bogus, the co-host of The Inside Out Show and owner and designer of Anne Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help you make your dream space a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. Our showroom phone number is 636-821-3395. And again, our website is annemariestudio.com. Let's turn your kitchen or bath into the dream reality with Anne Marie Design Studio.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event. Don't miss the upcoming NASCAR Xfinity Series, the NASCAR Cup Series, Enjoy Illinois 300, and the NHRA Midwest Nationals, all happening in September. The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to WWTRaceway.com.
Do you know why right now is the absolute best time to book your new patio or deck with my friends at Outdoor Living? Aside from being the best in town, these guys are really smart. They pay attention to market conditions, and they've stocked up on patio and deck supplies, including steel, all before these tariffs kicked in. So while their competitors' pricing has gone through the roof, prices have never been better at Outdoor Living. Now is the best time to call and book your summer job. Not to mention, these same competitors have sold out to large conglomerates and hedge funds. Pat Leahy and his team remain locally owned and operated, providing the best pricing and the best service in town. So, looking for a new deck or a new fence or anything outdoor? Outdoor Living, 314-966-DECK. That's 314-966-DECK. Or check them out online, Outdoor Living Inc., or check out their great showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, OutdoorLivingInc.com. How's your bathroom holding up? Cracked tiles, outdated fixtures, a tub that's seen better days, or maybe a tub you want to turn into a walk-in shower. Hi, everybody. McGraw Millhaven here for Michael's Baths. You see, at Michael's Baths, They specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits any budget. You want to transform the full bathroom or maybe just the vanity or maybe just the shower. It doesn't matter because Michael's Baths is more than happy to help out. Whether you need better storage, a modern, fresh look, Michael's Bath makes it simple, clean, and ultimately budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. And he's got a 30-plus year track record to prove it. Michael's Baths is a small, family-owned business that allows them to keep their prices affordable, yet delivering quality results time and time again. So, for a free in-home estimate, call Michael's Baths today, 636-775-0800, or online at michaelsbaths.com.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Join us for Wednesday's program. We're going back to the future with Tariq Khan, and the movie is Witness with Harrison Ford, an unbelievable movie. Be with us at 11 o'clock. Also, Sarah Fensky from St. Louis Magazine. We'll see you Wednesday.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon. Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:30. Time to get a check of traffic, and Captain Paul is back in the KTRS Traffic Center. How was your time off?
It was a fun trip, and thanks for asking, Heidi. I appreciate that. A lot of fun.
Good to know. We'll have to get some more details throughout the day.
Sure. Right now, southbound 55 slows down at South Broadway. And a couple of construction notes for tonight. One, eastbound lane of 64 will be closed between the 6470 interchange and Prospect from 7:30 p.m. tonight to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for road work. Also tonight, one southbound lane of 270 will be shifted between Olive and 64. That work will last from 8 p.m. tonight to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. This traffic report is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, take advantage of Renewal by Anderson's largest new customer discount. 25% off your entire window or door project and great financing options. Call 314-350-6550 or online at rbastl.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Aid agencies operating Gaza held an online briefing earlier today. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent in Jerusalem, joins us with what they said. Hey, Jordana.
Hi there. We heard really horrifying and heart-wrenching stories from several different doctors that have been working in Gaza at various different hospitals. And they essentially said that, there are just a rising tide of malnourished children that they are seeing. And they were essentially saying unless really there is a flood of aid into the Gaza Strip, they believe there will be, hundreds of deaths due to malnutrition. And remember, if you are acutely malnourished, your body can't fight off infections. Mm-hmm. If you have underlying conditions, it just makes it worse. So, this is, it was a window into how absolutely terrible the situation is. And it echoes what we've heard from other NGOs, even major media organizations like the AP and AFP, who say that the freelancers are, themselves adults too weak to even work, that they're having a hard time finding food. I think what we saw over the last week or two was a real tipping point. The accumulation of a war, nearly 2 years, where there was never enough aid into the Gaza Strip. And then if you add in the 10-week ban on all food that started in March that the Israeli Prime Minister implemented, which clearly was there was always strong opposition to that ban, but it seems to have been a critical error. And then the system that went up that was supposed to replace the UN's delivery of aid into the Gaza Strip was not only deadly, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, that's what I'm referring to, not only deadly, but never up to scale, never could feed the people of Gaza. I mean, the statistics sound impressive, 90 million meals, right? But over a 2-month period with over 2 million Gazans, that doesn't add up to 3 meals a day. If you're lucky, it's 1 meal a day.
Oh, yeah, the pictures are just horrifying. And Jordana, we've also been seeing a lot of food trucks going in, parachutes being dropped with food. Is that not enough? Is that kind of just to keep us occupied over here, that something's being done?
Well, I do want to say that while I think the Israeli Prime Minister made a lot of critical errors, he has essentially reversed course now. And I think we shouldn't, I would say, minimize the changes he's made. They are significant. So we've seen for the last 3 days, the Israeli army stop combat in 3 major areas for 10 hours a day. That is in Gaza City, in Deir al-Bala, which is in central Gaza, and in al-Mawasi, the humanitarian zone. There's been no combat there from, essentially 10 in the morning till 8 at night to enable people to access aid, to enable the UN to deliberate. And then they've also, the Prime Minister also ordered safe routes to be opened from the crossing into Gaza from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day. And that's allowed. We've seen over 200 trucks go in, which is actually 250 today. That's the most we've seen in many, many weeks. So if this continues for at least a few weeks, it could alleviate the hunger. But, it is again at a tipping point. I think the Prime Minister really had no choice, because I think President Trump and the GOP and others were finally waking up to how bad the situation was. And, there was a lot of pressure put on Netanyahu to change course, and he did it.
Jordana, a multi-part question here. Are there still areas of Gaza that are controlled by Hamas? And if so, can non-Palestinian groups get food into those areas to people? Because I know in the past there had been consideration that Hamas had sort of taken food and those sorts of things. So logistically, can we reach everybody in the Gaza Strip?
I think that's a really good question. I think the answer is probably no, unfortunately. For the blame that Israel does bear for the situation in Gaza, Hamas and the gangs there and various tribes there are also to blame for the hunger problem, because there has been looting of aid. Even with the new Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, I mean, there are new reports out today, for example, that gangs of young men, right, would get the aid for free and then sell it to the merchants in different parts of Gaza, who would then turn around and try to, gouge Gazans, right?
Right.
This also contributes to hunger. Not to mention Hamas, which has siphoned off aid. We can, I know there were reports in the New York Times this week that Israeli officials, 2 Israeli military officials, said there wasn't systematic stealing of the aid by Hamas. Hamas, nonetheless, when you look at the thousands of Hamas fighters that came into the streets in January during the ceasefire, there were plenty of them that nobody that I saw really looked starving and hungry and skinny and frail. I mean, Hamas fighters were getting food. Now, how they exactly did it? Did they siphon it off? Did they steal it? Did they pay gangs to do it? Did they pay tribes to do it? I'm not sure the mechanism, but Hamas is not suffering, and there was never enough aid into the Gaza Strip. So they clearly found a way to get their hands on enough food to feed thousands of fighters, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think we have the full picture. And again, Israel is responsible for part of the hunger crisis, but so is Hamas. And the UN as well. They've had logistic problems, manpower issues. We saw the pictures don't lie. There were hundreds of trucks of aid sitting on the Gazan side of the border that had not been picked up and delivered. And that was not solely a bureaucratic issue from the Israeli side.
Jordana, something that kind of surprised me when I watched a couple different stories is it's not just the children that are grasping for food and that are malnourished, but also even some nurses falling out at the hospitals because they don't have enough food. I mean, this is across the board.
Right. And I think that's where, the tipping point comes in, right? It's not just children who are malnourished. It's not just, families across the Gaza Strip, and maybe they've had to move several times, and that complicates the issue. There are people who we would think are in more privileged positions,
right,
like physicians at hospitals, right, or freelancers working for the Associated Press, right? When those people start having a major problem accessing, finding food, then you can see where the problem has now spread to a certain level where it becomes a tipping point where, the majority of people in the Gaza Strip are having a hard time finding food. And we haven't even mentioned the problem of potable water, right? That's also a problem. So, there is, there has been a change over the last several days, and I don't think we should minimize or downplay or poo-poo the change that the Prime Minister made. It is significant. It will have, widespread ramifications. And remember, the Prime Minister made this decision, obviously under a lot of pressure. It is true that people in the army, in his security and intelligence circles, had been warning him about the situation, right? Netanyahu wasn't in the dark about what was happening in Gaza. But the decision will not help him get a ceasefire, right? It will not help him get the hostages home or defeat Hamas, right? Because Hamas now has less of a reason to cut a deal. And that feeds into, as well, France's decision and now Britain's threat to recognize a Palestinian state in September at the UN. Hamas can now sit for another 2 months and do nothing, right? And know they have that diplomatic victory waiting. So, I'm not sure it was a smart decision by France or the UK. It's, recognizing a Palestinian state has been something that, again, Paris and London could have done years ago or next year, right? At this moment, I'm not sure it serves the interests of ending this war. Those two European countries now could have prolonged the war now for another 2 months.
I wanted to ask you about just that. And for the first time, 2 Israeli human rights groups have come out and accused Israel of genocide in Gaza. The regular Israelis that go about their day, that you talk to, that you live with, are they feeling like the response to October 7th might have been too much?
No, they don't think it was too much. I have a real problem as someone who not only has reported on the war, but I'm living here. And of course, there's lots of conversations with neighbors and ordinary people, as well as the sources we talk to. But Netanyahu's war on Hamas is not revenge. It's not revenge. It's out of a existential threat, right? That's the way most Israelis see it, by the way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hamas wanted to come all the way to the cities on October 7th, right? That was their plan, right? We found maps in their backpacks, right? And we saw what Hezbollah tried to do, and certainly in recent month, the last month, we saw what Iran wanted to do. So I think this talk of revenge, and even today, an op-ed in the Financial Times, I think this is really off the mark. This war isn't about revenge. Remember, the war could end if Hamas turned over the hostages, right? Israel's fighting tooth and nail not only to secure its borders, but to get its citizens back, citizens that were innocently taken out of their beds in their pajamas, right? Yeah. Most of the people Hamas took were not soldiers; they were civilians. So, I don't think everyday Israelis think that the war is too much. They believe that Netanyahu could have ended the war already and gotten a deal if it were not for his political interests. The criticism of Netanyahu is that he is somehow or apparently prolonging the war because his coalition and his government would fall if he made the really hard decisions. And I think there is some truth to that. But there are also, I also talk to people who are, critics of Netanyahu, and they say, whether that's in the Shin Bet or in the military, and they say, listen, how can Israel leave the Gaza Strip after this and leave Hamas still in control of the Gaza Strip? I mean, it will be as if every soldier and every citizen that was killed since October 7th was in vain.
Right.
If Hamas is left there to regroup and rebuild, right? So it is, so I don't think that all of Netanyahu's considerations are about staying in power. And, he has made some very difficult decisions, with 10 votes, often with his vote and one other vote, in decisions that changed the course of the war, right? The pager attacks, right? Assassinating Nasrallah. These were decisions that Netanyahu took. The surprise strike on Iran. I mean, Netanyahu has become, a war leader in a way that I'm sure he never imagined, because he was always scarred by war because his brother, as you know, was killed in the raid in Entebbe, right? Netanyahu was supposed to be the Israeli business guy, and his brother Yoni was supposed to be the politician.
Yeah. Well, Jordana, we can't thank you enough for sharing your perspective with us. Thank you so much.
Okay, talk soon, guys.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. One more First Alert weather day, not just for intense heat, but also a chance for some storms later in the day into the evening that could have a low chance for some isolated pockets of damaging wind. So we'll start the day at 79 degrees, mostly sunny. It's still very hot and humid, a high of 94, heat index up to 105. By the late afternoon and evening, let's be on guard for some heavy storms and pockets of strong winds. Then Thursday, the heat wave is broken, a high of 80 degrees. That'll feel great. Still going to be a muggy day, but that much cooler temperature will be great. And there's a chance for some showers, about a 40% chance under mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Concerned about where your retirement is heading? Is it on track to meet your needs and goals? Are taxes and inflation a constant worry? Well, you can join Jerry Means for What Retirement Means to You, powered by Means Financial Group, and find out how their team can help guide you to that retirement you've always dreamed of. Listen to What Retirement Means to You with Jerry Means, Sunday mornings at 10 on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. More details at meansfinancialgroup.com.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there's so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quality time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
It's time to celebrate summer the Southern Illinois way at the DeCoin State Fair from August 22nd through Labor Day. Enjoy thrilling rides, toe-tapping concerts, sizzling fair food, and good old-fashioned fun for the whole family. Catch professional wrestling, blue ribbon bake-offs, and meet your favorite farm animals. Whether you're here for the car show or corn dogs, DeCoin's got the magic. So pack up the family. Adventure awaits at the DeCoin State Fair.
Beauty in Forest Park. You will be found. The deeply moving Dear Evan Hansen makes its Muni debut on stage through August 3rd. Sponsored by Purina. For tickets, visit muni.org.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep.
The studio smells a whole lot better. We'll talk to Chef Mel and Michael Viviano after we check back in with Captain Paul, see how traffic's moving.
Heidi, there's a crash on eastbound 70 before Tucker downtown. Southbound 55 is running slow at South Broadway, and eastbound 64 bogs down from 170 to near Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialists. Repairs are cheaper than replacements. That's a myth. Stop pouring money into that old AC. We'll buy back your old AC system and give you $500 plus 0% financing for 24 months. Your family stays cool and your wallet does too. Visit al-don.com to learn more about Daikin Fit Systems. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, they're saying we're going to get a break in the next couple of days in the weather, but if you're still struggling, if your air conditioner is struggling under the intense heat, folks, you've got to call my friends at AAA Home Services. And they have been battling with you folks with 25 expert technicians that are on the road all day long helping people get through this, and they can help you too. And even if you survive, but you know your air conditioner's on its last legs, remember that AAA Home Services is your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, and they've been in our town, family-owned and operated for 55 years. They can make it happen for you. Does your air conditioning need simply a repair to get it up to snuff? Or do you really need a new American Standard system? AAA has what you need and the great technicians to make it happen for you. There are two ways to book an appointment. Don't wait any longer. 636-397-3200. Online, AAASTL.com to book an appointment and learn more. AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
boutique in Palm Beach. This store marks the company's first expansion outside of our area, which is currently home to 3 stores. The company said the store will feature an elevated experience and is set to open September 2025. According to Dan Abel Jr., Bissinger's chief chocolate officer, he said, "We've long felt the love from Palm Beach, and we are very excited to debut this new boutique for our customers." Now, you might recall last time that Dan was in, they talked about expanding their existing production space on the hill and plan to open a chocolate cafe. The expansion is set to bring tourism back to the chocolate factory. Prior to the pandemic, the company hosted more than 50,000 tours of its production space each year.
Amazing.
So, in addition to the tours, the new space will be built out to have a visitors welcome center. It's set to house both a chocolate cafe and event space. The chocolate cafe will feature a variety of chocolates in addition to various food and drink options. So, more food talk.
Marvelous. Yeah, we can't get enough food here. Okay, this isn't about food. This is one I've never seen before. A bishop in a dressing gown interrupts a church concert and asks the crowd to leave my house.
What?
A disgruntled bishop in his dressing gown. I think it was just, kind of a house coat. He interrupted a church concert. This was in London. Told the singers to stop their, quote, terrible racket and, quote, leave his house.
Whoa. The
City Academy Voices Choir was coming to the end of their performance at St. Andrews in Holborn on Friday night, and the lights suddenly turned off. Jonathan Baker, the bishop of Fulham, standing barefoot at the microphone as bemused performers in a 300-strong audience looked on. They didn't know what was going on. Quoting, "You're in my house. It's gone past 10 p.m. and this is terrible racket.
Ooh.
Good night. Can
Yikes.
you leave now, please? Thank you. It's over." So a church employee asked the crowd to quietly leave. They did finish their one song, an a cappella version of ABBA's Dancing Queen. I don't know why that makes it perfect. It just makes it hilarious. Now, the church rents out the premises for performances for money and so on and so forth. But I guess the bishop was
Wasn't
tired.
having it. Yeah,
he was tired.
Needed more sleep, I
Get
think.
out!
Man, that's the next get off my lawn.
No doubt.
But it's ABBA, baby.
Oh, had I known you were doing ABBA, stick around.
Yeah.
And then Cedar Point. We've talked roller coasters a couple times. Cedar Point is in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio. It's
Is
right
that the
on
big one? Like, is that the
yeah.
coaster capital?
Coaster capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's right on the Lake Erie, right? It's really cool. I've been there before. I would love to go back, but there's a new ride called Siren's Curse. They call it a tilt coaster.
Oh.
I'll explain what that means in just a second. It's stranded riders for at least the 4th time.
The 4th time?
Since it opened on June 28th, 1 month ago.
Not
About every
getting
10
on
days
it.
or so.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. It's stranded riders just over the weekend. It's stranded riders on the 19th, the 2nd of July, and the day it opened on June 28th. It's
Yikes.
stranded riders.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
So a tilt coaster it goes all the way up, and then it sits on this platform and then stops.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole platform tilts down.
The platform tilts.
Holds you there until, I guess, it connects to the track below and then drops you.
Yeah.
Looks super cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
not my
then-
definition of cool, but go ahead.
To Bob's point, once a week.
Man.
It says
The odds are
coasters-
against you.
They really are. The coaster safety system performed as designed. The ride was restarted. Guests continued their ride. It reopened shortly after all guests exited the ride safely, and there's video of these people at the very top getting out of the coaster and walking down the steps.
Well, how dangerous is just getting out of that thing and trying to grab a rail?
Well, the rail on the steps is there. There's no rail up at the top. So it was
geez.
yeah, just watching this video actually gave me a little vertigo.
I was
but-
going to say you kind of yelled out loud in the
Yes.
office more than once watching it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, what is he watching over there? Interesting. I'll tell you what I've been doing to get people to say, what are you doing? I've been going to Premiere U, and the result has been amazing, not just for me, but for Marsha as well, and everybody that I know that has turned to Premier U. So basically, I tried to do the same thing over and over again, which I think is the definition of insanity. And finally, I discovered Premier U. And of course, we've all seen the commercials on the weight loss drugs. What Premier U offers is those weight loss medications, the generic version, but they also offer you kind of some guidance with it. That's just one of the many tools in the toolbox. You're also going to visit once a month, and you're going to make sure that you're doing things correctly. You're going to make sure that you're maintaining muscle. You're going to make sure that the fat is disappearing in the right places, like around your organs, the visceral fat. Those are the things that you want to be concerned about. But that's one of the many things that Premier U does. They actually are giving us all the ultimate back to school gift this August, 50% off their Immunity Boost IV therapy. I've done this before, and it's great too. I mean, it's loaded with zinc and vitamin C and B vitamins and everything that your body needs to stay strong and fight off all of that funk as we get back into the school year and all the kids come back with snotty noses and maybe not washing their hands. This can actually help. So if you want to kind of protect yourself, if you want to get back to feeling like you again, Premier U is your one stop. Premier U actually has 2 locations, one in Swansea, another in South County. You can give them a call, 618-750-LIFE, or go online, premiermed.com. Coming up, we're going to chat with Erik Siemers, the editor of the St. Louis Business Journal. A couple of big headlines they have going on, and we'll break them down.
When you go and get your car washed, do you really care which car wash you go to? Yes, because not all car washes are created equal. Country Club Car Wash is the local family-owned and family-operated car wash since 1989. All these other ones that are popping up, they're all run by out-of-town hedge funds. Keep it local. Keep it great. Touchless car washes, no brushes, inside and out. 5 area locations, Country Club Car Wash or cccwstl.com.
Get to HW Kia, because if you're stuck in a loan or lease, Big D the trade man will get you released. Up to 120% over KBB fair market value for any trade. Have a job clearing $450 per week at HW Kia. You're practically approved. First-time buyers, past repossessions. Even if you've had a bankruptcy, we finance your future, not your past. HWKia.com. Not all will qualify. Credit may affect all payment. Plus tax, title, license, and 587 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity, refinanced, and new loan. Save at HW Kia. New Kia K4 LXS, $19,995 with any trade. Save on every new HW Kia. Like the 25 Kia Sportage EX, just $219 a month lease. Or Carnival EX, just $419 a month with 0 security deposit. HWKia.com. Unapproved credit, not all will qualify. Plus tax, title, license, and 587 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity, refinanced, and new loan. Rebates and incentives to dealer. 24 months, 10,000 mile lease. $65.95 due. Offers not in combination. Expires 7/6/25.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. This note came in on our text line recently on the Frank and Jill show. You need to know that Ryan Raphael helped me with my senior insurance plan. He was such a gentleman, so helpful, knowledgeable, and kind. I can't thank him enough, and I heard about him on KTRS. I love that text because Ryan Raphael is the Medicare man. He's absolutely the best person to call to help you through the often confusing process of finding the right Medicare plan for you. He loves helping people, walking them through the overwhelm of, I don't know how to choose the best plan for me, or I did choose a plan based on the recommendation of a well-meaning friend or family member, And now I don't think it's actually the right one for me. Ryan Raphael is the best at matching you with a plan that lets you keep your own physicians and keep your prescriptions. It's like having the highest quality consultant on your team. The best news, it's free to you. Under the law, his fees are paid by the insurance companies. Go to MedicareManSTL.com or call 314-368-6808. That's Ryan Raphael's cell phone number just for you.
Connor Roofing is proud to be a small part of Christmas in July, celebrating the heart of St. Louis, and thanks to 550 KTRS. This is Kathy from Connor Roofing. For years, we've been dedicated to protecting what matters most, your home, your family, and your peace of mind. As a local business, we believe in strong roofs and even stronger communities. Thanks for making us a part of yours. Connor Roofing, keeping St. Louis covered, one roof at a time. You can find us at connerroofing.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. This is the Business Journal Report with editor Erik Siemers on the Heidi Glaus Show.
Powered by Capital Advisory Group. CapitalAdvisoryGRP.com.
The St. Louis Business Journal has a couple of headlines people are talking about, including us. Erik Siemers, the editor, joins us to discuss. Welcome back, sir.
Hi, thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, Bar K, the big dog bar with locations not only here, but Kansas City and Oklahoma City, closed all 3 locations. What do you know?
Well, it's just another story of a struggling retail business in a tough environment for consumer-facing businesses. It's the Bar K, which is based in Kansas City. The company is. They put out a statement today saying there's not a singular cause. It's not one thing, but a variety of challenges. They cited severe economic conditions, just like the hospitality industry, inflationary costs, expenses, difficult labor market, sharply reduced consumer spending. It's just kind of hit them on all fronts. And we've seen, I know in the Kansas City location, they had issues when it comes to parking and construction being done around that area that hampered it. Here in St. Louis, you could sort of see this coming. Back in August of last year, they received an eviction threat from the property's owner, the development firm Green Street, that had alleged at the time they owed nearly $300,000 in back rent. They resolved that last fall, but there was some writing on the wall that there was some struggles here for this business, and it eventually came down to today announcing the closure of all 3 of its locations.
Now, Erik, the thing that I think really stinks, they're not offering refunds for their annual memberships. I mean, was that somewhere in the fine print that they didn't have to?
Yeah, that we're not sure on. And we didn't really have that detail in our story. We weren't able to flesh it out. But yeah, that's pretty tough, and it probably suggests that they don't have the money to give back their refunds, which sort of would. I mean, I can't say that for sure, but that's just sort of the suggestion I would get from that. And if their financial struggles are such that they are closing suddenly, it must be pretty difficult.
Yeah, Erik, I'm going to push you into commentary mode if you don't mind, and you can avoid it, of course, if you want. But it seemed like such a neat idea, and people that I know that have gone there loved it. Is there something about that particular business that would make it unsustainable, or would somebody else try and take the idea and run with it, do you think?
Oh, it's possible. I agree with you. I think the idea makes great sense. I think you have a place for your dogs to play, and you can also get a beer at the same time. Be honest with you, that sounds like perfect for me.
Me too.
And I brought my staff there, and we've had a wonderful time going to there to do that. But there's a lot of things about running a business that always sometimes can be difficult, where on paper it looks like a fantastic idea. But then when it comes to the nuts and bolts of trying to make the business work, some things just don't pencil out. Some things you can't expect, some things you can't forecast. It could be that someone else who's maybe more well capitalized, who really love the business, could come in there and do the same exact thing. But I mean, it's kind of a needle in a haystack sort of thing that something like that would emerge and see it that way. But it's really hard to judge about the business model and why something is or isn't successful when there's so many variables at play. And the ones they listed here, while broad, they're also real. I mean, getting people to work all the shifts, getting people who understand and are comfortable with dogs to work is another layer of that challenge for them. The cost of maintaining that place were probably much more significant than maybe you're a typical restaurant, because remember we know individually that it's harder for restaurants right now. We know it's harder for any sort of hospitality business. This thing had dog park with dog services.
It was
on
massive.
Top of a restaurant and a bar and all of these things built in one. So the degrees of complications are probably significantly more severe than if it were just one thing.
Yeah. Let's switch gears to Boeing's fire jet workers here in St. Louis rejected a contract offer. What's not in it that they want? Any idea?
Yeah. So what we're hearing is, first of all, the contract as it was initially proposed and sort of sold in a way by both Boeing and the union leadership was one of they really sold it as a significant pay increase for workers. They said that it was a 20% increase in wages over 4 years, and it could be considerably higher over time for some workers. So this was the way it was billed. But it was voted down overwhelmingly. And what we're starting to hear from people who are reportedly of the rank and file, they've been coming at us through social media and through private messages on Facebook, and and telling us a lot that their issue is more to do with the details in the contract involving the work week and changes in their work schedules that they fear would sort of eliminate the opportunity for them to get overtime like they have in the past. Now, Boeing has not said anything about that outwardly. In fact, I think they actually denied it in a statement to us on that point earlier. But there is the point of contention really seems to be lingering on these changes to the work schedule, they're offering alternative work schedules. One that's a 4-day-a-week work schedule. There's another one that's a 3-day-a-week work schedule that would effectively have people working 7 days a week. Now we're trying to figure out details on how that changes from the current status. And I know I have a reporter working on it right now, but so we're really still trying to unearth the big significant differences between what was offered and what workers want. But from what we're hearing, it has to do with changes to the work schedule.
I mean, we're talking about a lot of employees here, more than 3,000 employees, right?
Yeah, it is not insignificant by far, but Boeing CEO made statements today. They released their earnings report, the company did today, and analysts on a call with the CEO, an earnings call with the CEO today, asked about the impact that a potential strike would have here on the company. And CEO Kelly Ortberg really downplayed it. He said it was something that will manage through, and the order of magnitude on this is much, much less than what they saw last fall when the Pacific Northwest, the machinist union there, had a strike that involved 33,000 workers, compared to 3,200 here. So his exact quote was, "I wouldn't worry too much about the implications of the strike." So to equities analysts, to the folks who judge the company's stock, because of the degrees of scale between this workforce and the Pacific Northwest workforce, he's really heavily downplaying it. Of course, locally on the ground here, it's much more significant in terms of scale just because it's local. But he is speaking, of course, about the company at large, where this workforce is just a small percentage of what they employ.
Are the unions different between the two different cities, Seattle and St. Louis? Are they different when it comes to the commercial airliners versus what we do here, which is a lot of military stuff?
Well, each workplace has its own locals that negotiate their contracts differently than what you would in a different workplace. So the contracts are local in the sense that the contract that Boeing is negotiating here is with a specific union here in St. Louis that represents only St. Louis workers. So the terms are going to be different. They might rely on the contracts from another union negotiation as a template or something to consider. Well, you gave them this over here, we want this here, but the workers here are represented by their own local representation.
And Erik, as you said, you have reporters working on so many stories all the time, so I don't know if you are up to speed, but I did just see a headline from you guys about the Frontenac Theater. Is there something going in there? And I just saw the headline, so I don't know if there's more to that.
Well, if you're a big fan of shopping at Talbot's and Abercrombie and Fitch, you'll be very excited to know that is going to be taking place of the former theater.
Okay.
As a Frontenac. So
Abercrombie.
Yeah. So they're replacing it with, some pretty standard mall retailers. So, if you were hoping another theater was going to go in there.
Not the case.
Not the case.
Yeah. Well, you can read more about what's happening in business news in our area online at bizjournals.com/St. Louis. Erik, we always appreciate getting the inside info from you. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
And that's too bad, though, because that was a place where you could really see some independent
art house movies.
The art house movies.
Yeah.
We didn't go there a lot, but 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
And it was always a really good experience.
Yeah, what was that? The Marigold Hotel, things that Dame Judi Dench would be in, things like that. Where am I going to watch those now?
Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group, and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours. Let us show you how tax-smart investment strategies can protect your wealth. Give us a call at 636-394-5524, or you can visit us on the web at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Keep What's Yours, Saturday afternoons at 3.
4:32. Captain Paul, how are the roads?
Well, we have an accident on eastbound 70 at Hanley. It's causing a stop-and-go back up to 170. There's a crash on northbound 55 at 255, blocking the two right lanes. Eastbound 64 is heavy from Illinois 157 to 159 in Fairview Heights. Southbound 55 is running slow from Gasconade to South Broadway, where it's stop-and-go. Eastbound 70 bogs down at the depressed section downtown. Westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park and from 364 to the 6470 interchange. And eastbound 64 bogs down from 170 to near Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, take advantage of Renewal by Anderson's largest new customer discount. 25% off your entire window or door project and great financing options. Call 314-350-6550 or online at rbastl.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. One more First Alert weather day, not just for intense heat, but also a chance for some storms later in the day into the evening that could have a low chance for some isolated pockets of damaging wind. So we'll start the day at 79 degrees, mostly sunny. It's still very hot and humid, a high of 94, heat index up to 105. By the late afternoon and evening, let's be on guard for some heavy storms and pockets of strong winds. Then Thursday, the heat wave is broken, a high of 80 degrees. That'll feel great. Still going to be a muggy day, but that much cooler temperature will be great. And there's a chance for some showers, about a 40% chance under mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com. Carney, Buck.
Wednesday, Carney Show brings a pair of Johnnies.
Also, we'll do sports with our very own Bob Ramsey.
Can we call him Johnny anyway, just to kind of keep a theme going?
I don't think so.
Can I call you Johnny?
No.
Can I call you late for dinner?
You can call me live on the radio at noon tomorrow.
See you then.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
Our troops overseas will always miss their loved ones throughout the year. Let them know you miss them. Support our troops by sending a care package. This message is courtesy of NJL Custom Homes, where sound understanding of property values is combined with shrewd assessment of individual buyer needs. For all of your custom home building needs, call 314-575-7481. That's 314-575-7481. Visit them online at njlcustomhomes.com.
Since 1974, Permajack of St. Louis has been helping residential and commercial owners protect their biggest investment. From successfully solving foundation structural problems to making sure basements remain dry, Permajack has performed tens of thousands of projects on both sides of the river, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, techniques, and equipment. Permajack of St. Louis has done it with honesty and integrity, never recommending anything outside of what you really need. For many repairs, Permajack provides a transferable life of structure warranty, all while Permajack of St. Louis has earned a BBB A+ rating and accreditation. For foundation settlement, bowed or buckling walls, cracks in your foundation, walls or bricks, or basement waterproofing, choose the hometown family-owned team at Permajack of St. Louis. Schedule your free inspection and estimate at permajackofstlewis.com. That's Permajack of stlewis.com. Permajack, solid as rock.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, here we go again. I was talking about great smells in the studio earlier, but that rare corpse flower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Octavia is her name. Will bloom at Missouri Botanical Garden. And it looks like, I didn't realize this. It's 148-pound Titan arum, commonly known as the corpse flower, expected to bloom early August, and when she does, it will mark her 5th bloom and the 20th time a corpse flower has bloomed at Missouri Botanical Garden since 2012. Now, it's native to Indonesia, but it's listed as endangered in the wild by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Missouri Botanical Garden now has more than 20 of these rare plants in its collection, and catching one in bloom remains rare, and of course, pungent.
Yes.
If you want to experience that, make sure that you make plans to visit the Missouri Botanical Garden the beginning of August. Now, the corpse flower will only bloom for 24 hours, and it emits an odor that they say mimics rotting flesh.
Ugh.
So, if that's what you're going for.
How would you know? How would you know?
Well, somebody knows.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'd rather, if you had to choose between a corpse and the corpse flower, what
Definitely
would you choose?
Yeah.
the flower.
The flower.
Yeah, it's in the climatron. So,
how many times has Heidi been to this thing?
to the actual corpse
bloom-
flower?
Yeah, the blooming.
Never.
Never?
Nope. It's really hard to call.
Did they send someone else? Lisa Sigmund out there?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, a reference.
Corpse.
Out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. It was nice. Good shot. It's one of those things that you don't know when it's happening. So.
Oh, really?
If they just say August, well, you can't, put everything else on hold. So it was usually more of a news thing to go get it because the stuff that we did was more planned and you already had things set up. I thought this was interesting. A father was on a flight and I guess started a conversation with the gentleman beside him. And he thought he was a pretty charming guy.
Okay.
So he introduced this stranger to his daughter. Thought that maybe they would make a good match.
Turns out.
They are
Dexter.
engaged.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I was going to say
And he
corpse
said
flower.
it was so cool to see it all come together. I guess the now engaged couple, actually went to the same college, just had never met. And the dad is kind of saying, look, I don't know who you are, but you seem like you're a good guy. And the guy is like, who is this guy? And why is he asking me so many questions?
Why does he keep pushing his daughter onto me?
Yeah, so once the plane landed, the dad, Ed, gave Kevin a business card, and he didn't have one. Of course, he's a younger 20-something guy, didn't have one to return, so they kind of went their separate ways, and the dad ended up getting dinner with his daughter. So, of course, he whips out his phone and shows a picture of the guy, because this dad's on a mission. And
did he snap a picture of this guy
Yeah.
on the plane without the guy noticing?
And his daughter says, word for word, he said, this is Kevin. If you don't date Kevin, I'm going to date Kevin. And I was like, oh, my God, what did you do, Dad?
Wow.
Anyway, Ed went on and on about this guy. And his daughter, Beck, noted that he didn't even know his last name, so she wouldn't know where to look for him, even if she wanted to find him. Right then and there, her dad texted the kid's boss for that key piece of information. Now you have no excuses not to find him.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
it all worked out, and they are engaged. 3.5 years later, he popped the question.
Matchmaker or pimp?
I don't know.
Well,
Could go either way.
Bob, let me ask you this. You've got a daughter, right?
I do.
Are you actively searching out suitors
None
for
of my
your daughter?
business.
But, oh, really? I would think that fathers, especially if girls of a certain age, would be, saying things to the tune of closed for business. No one's dating my daughter.
No.
You want
I want her to be happy. I don't care about any of that. Now, if some creep shows up, we may have a discussion. But other than that, do you?
Yeah. And if you found a guy that really seemed like a perfect guy for her, liked the things.
You might get a number, maybe.
Yeah.
Or if I'm sitting next to who's a young star.
Yeah.
I can't think of a name, but somebody who's a big time. Oh, yeah, I can't find anybody to date. I'd say, aha.
Yeah.
Got somebody for you.
Hey, let me take a picture of you on my phone.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no.
You're not interfering.
I wanted to run this by you guys.
Okay.
I almost used it earlier, and then I got another story instead. Beach town cracks down on half-naked tourists with hefty fines for inappropriate attire. The seaside resort of Les Sables au Alain.
Oh, it's in France.
God bless you.
They've implemented a ban against tourists frolicking around town in their swimwear.
Just the tourists, not the residents?
It says tourists specifically. It's a question for respect for locals who don't want people wandering around their town half naked. It's also a rule of basic hygiene in our markets, in our shops, in our streets. And the fine up to $175. If you're at the beach and you want to run up to the market and you just put on flip-flops and that's it, you might have to pay a fine.
So are we talking like no clothes, or we're talking just they don't even want you walking around in your swimsuit? You need to have your cover up, all of it on.
No swimsuits.
Okay.
No swimsuits in town.
So I went to Monaco. Monte Carlo.
Did you?
Yeah, Monaco.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
But we go to visit the castle up at the top. You know, this is where
Princess Grace
and whatever her husband's name was. What's the son now? I want to say
Prince Albert.
Prince Albert, thank you. Prince Albert probably lives there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big sign that says, you know, no swimsuits. You have to wear shoes. But at the top of the sign, I took a picture of it. It says, Turistes.
Mm-hmm. Pay attention.
Pay attention, tourists. Don't come walking around the castle in your swimsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Put a shirt on.
It's the least you can do. Well, it's interesting because when we were in Europe, we went into a couple of cathedrals, and one of the many things that thankfully we had Altair Travel kind of helping us out, they didn't want you to wear even sleeveless. Like you had to show respect in specific places. Like make sure you bring a long sleeve shirt with you, even if it's hot, to put on when we go in, you know, such and such cathedral.
When we went to the Vatican on our honeymoon, it was late August, early September.
When you walked in, lightning.
Yeah,
that's right.
My wife had to buy a wrap out front to cover up her knees.
Knees, yeah.
And same thing that Heidi said. Shoulders and all that stuff. So it's definitely a thing.
Well, while we're talking about it, some non-American things that the world highly recommends to Americans, which is kind of interesting. Poutine, like the putting the gravy and the cheese
on top
and
of the fries,
the curds on top of the fries. You see it occasionally,
every now and then,
but not butter on sandwiches.
I could do that. I will do that, actually.
I'd consider it. It depends. I'm a butter guy.
Yeah.
But it depends.
Are we talking like a turkey sandwich? Put butter on the bread?
All sandwiches, they put butter on the bread. I'll tell you what I loved is that cheese was actually served as dessert. Like when you would get it on and I'm like, I'm all in
I could
on
do
that.
Absolutely.
But this is desserts that aren't insanely sweet. We really have a sweet tooth here.
My mom used to make peanut butter and butter sandwiches. And that's a decent combination.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
I will agree. I don't know why we haven't gotten on board. Bidets seems like a no-brainer, but we're still behind.
I wish I had one.
You can get them just to attach to your toilet seat at any hardware store. I have 2 of them.
I've only experienced it once in Mexico. I'm not opposed.
Yeah.
But they have this little towel that, is the bidet towel. And, it kind of, we've had this conversation. How many uses do you go through on a towel? I think the bidet towel is one and done.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
You think?
And honestly,
I just use my girlfriend's T-shirt.
Yeah. The bidets that you attach aren't quite as big and bulky. Not the same situation. As far as that goes. Yeah. High-speed trains, they say. Towel warmers in the bathroom.
That would be nice.
Taxes included in the price, not to mention the service fees. They're like, people don't understand why we don't do that. And then those month-long vacations or holidays, as they call them. Kind of agree. Why don't we get on board?
Talking about that, it's like the whole of Paris just leaves in August. I'm like, why don't we sign up for that one?
Yeah, we wanted to be free.
JF Electric Company, Inc. seeks Assistant Project Manager, Edwardsville, Illinois, to manage electrical construction projects. Highly involved with the bid process, often contributing information and recommendations on the bid itself. Proactively assists PMs with managing electrical construction projects from winning the bid to completing the work. Helps establish project objectives and lays out the project plan in accordance with contract specifications. Identifies, applies for, obtains, and maintains all applicable permits as directed by PM. BS or equivalent in engineering or construction management. Ability with prior leadership role. Adhere to a schedule and reliably show up for all scheduled shifts on time. Attention to detail. Computer proficiency. Primavera or ability to learn Primavera within 90 days. Resumes to J. Foster, 200 Lakefront Parkway, Edwardsville, Illinois, 62025.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of St. Lou Fringe. Our festival is St. Louis' stage for new works. Grab a festival pass and meet me August 11th through 17th at STL Fringe Fest 25 for cutting-edge theater like I've Grown Plenty, Thanks, a new musical, Traumedy, your therapist would approve of, written and performed by Maria Bartola. This is a hilarious and horrifying romp through a modern dating world, and a show you will not want to miss. Grab passes and tickets for STL Fringe Fest today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org.
Hey Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
You're finally ready to renovate your home. Riverbend Kitchen and More is your BBB accredited project partner that is attentive and responsive to your vision from concept to completion. Riverbend specializes in kitchens and baths, but also bars, bookcases, cabinetry, countertops, and more. They work with homeowners, contractors, and developers. Proud supplier of Waypoint Living Spaces cabinets, as well as other quality cabinetry lines. Financing is available, conveniently located in Soulard, Alton, and Mascoutah. Call 314-314-7411. Online at riverbendkm.com.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you. bishopspost.com.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern Wednesday on the McGraw Show, being still hosted by Steve Savard. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight has had their 111th flight, and now they're going to get ready for their 112th. Steve will talk to some people involved at 9:10.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550, KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550, KTRS.
It's 6 minutes before 5 o'clock. Let's go to the KTRS Traffic Center and Captain Paul Kopsky.
Heidi, an accident on eastbound 70 at Hanley has traffic jammed back to Natural Bridge. There's a crash on northbound 55 at 255, blocking the 2 right lanes. Eastbound 64 is heavy from Illinois 157 to 159 in Fairview Heights. Southbound 55 is running slow and stop and go at times from Gasconade to South Broadway. Eastbound 70 bogs down at the depressed section downtown, and westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House, located in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch, happy hour, or even plan your next event at the Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, so I go out to this website called Life Hacker, and they have an article, How to Use the Charcoal Grill in Your Public Park This Summer. So Heidi lamented like 3 weeks ago that summer was over. It's not.
What? I've never said summer was over.
Once we hit July, after the 4th of July.
I just said it goes quickly.
She goes, summer's over.
No, I didn't say that.
Better get out your Halloween decorations, everybody.
Nope, didn't say that either.
Not even August yet. Plenty of time left to grill.
It's about August.
But this gentleman was going around talking about how he'll go to parks in Brooklyn at 8 a.m. and people will already set up their tents in front of the outdoor charcoal grill that you see in every park.
Right.
Tells you how to clean the grates and get the charcoal and this, that, and the other. My question is, has anyone ever used one of these things?
Yes.
Yeah, I did on vacation at our cabin.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It's a grill.
Put the charcoal in, flame on, Johnny.
Yeah.
And it works good?
Well, it's fire.
Right.
Fire doesn't care what it's in.
And it's got a grate over it. So
are they real gross and dirty?
They can be.
Yeah.
Can be. He talks about taking wadded up foil.
Yeah.
To clean it.
Letting it heat up a little bit.
Yeah, because they say, and it makes sense, you got to be careful with those wire brushes that those little.
Yeah, they'll leave a piece of that metal in it.
there, and you could ingest it. So, yeah.
Ooh, yikes. We've got a couple of these down at our condo in Gulf Shores.
And apparently you've never used one.
Well, the last time we were down there, I said, how about we do steak night? And everyone poo-pooed the idea.
What?
They said, oh, no, we're not using those things. I have.
Well, you should be the
So
the
you know
guy,
what?
the facilitator.
Well, I'm going to eat steak tonight. And anybody else can come with me.
Do you know how to do the charcoal?
No. Now, see, that's the thing. I'm a gas guy.
Right. So you got to pile it up, and then real charcoal people would yell at me, but I don't want to mess around with it. Put some lighter fluid.
Yeah, absolutely.
A gallon of it. I don't care.
Just start it.
And then put that thing, but don't go on too soon. You got to let the charcoal briquettes get gray. You got to let them. Then you spread them out a little bit, but not too much. Spread them out a little bit.
Nice, yes.
So you get a good central heat area, and you are good to go, bro.
And these things obviously don't have lids on them.
No. It's an open flame.
It's an open flame. Does it take longer?
It depends on how you build the fire.
Yeah.
And you just got to pay attention to it the whole time.
Well, now I'm intrigued because I've never used one before.
So now you're going to make a Chef Boyardee pizza and one of these?
Do they have any like up in Blanchette Park, I wonder?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Well, I'll come over and we'll go to Blanchette Park.
You and me?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't
Get
wait.
the steaks.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years. And their message has remained the same all these 20 years. Make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told them I was well-schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best price. They'll work with your insurance company and make sure you get the claim you deserve to fix it and fix it right. Roofing, siding, gutters, all storm damage, John Beal Roofing will take care of it. Keep it local and keep it John Beal. Keep it in the family for 20-plus years. John Beal Roofing, 1-800-NEW-ROOF or johnbealroofing.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
It's Julie Buck here for AAA Travel. Let's talk about their featured vacations. Exclusive AAA Travel curated trips that offer unique travel opportunities, value, experiences that are not usually available off the shelf with other travel agencies or providers. One of the many featured vacation experiences offer a unique side of Italy on a guided tour featuring the treasures of Rome and stunning beauty of the Amalfi Coast. One-of-a-kind experiences with amazing savings. You're going to love this. For more, go to AAA.com/featured vacation.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Investigators found in the pocket of the gunman in yesterday's New York City skyscraper mass shooting what sources described as a rambling 3-page handwritten note that claimed he suffered from traumatic brain injury. ABC's Alex Stone says NYPD detectives are in Las Vegas to carry out search warrants and trace the gun.
We now know the shooter was arrested and charged with trespassing after he allegedly tried to grab a security guard and refused to leave a Las Vegas casino in 2023.
The worst-case scenario of famine is unfolding in Gaza, says a global famine monitor, the IPC. ABC's James Longman.
Doctors Without Borders say aid drops are notoriously ineffective and dangerous. Food is being brought overland, but already there is claim and counterclaim about how much is getting in.
President Trump giving Russian President Putin an ultimatum, 10 days to get a peace deal with Ukraine.
And then, we're going to put on tariffs and stuff, and I don't know if it's going to affect Russia, because he wants to obviously probably keep the war going.
President aboard Air Force One, ABC's Karen Travers.
We don't do a lot of trade with Russia right now, so that might not be the economic impetus that is needed. But potentially, if the United States keeps contributing weapons and military equipment to Ukraine, that might be something that forces Putin. But at this point, based on what we saw overnight, he is not changing his posture.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announcing plans to repeal a 2009 Environmental Protection Agency document that established climate change as a force endangering public health and welfare. Many regulations to combat climate change are based on that finding. Former EPA official Joe Goffman.
Administrator Zeldin is saying something like, believe me, not your own lying eyes. And it's very hard to accept his statements when 170 million people are under severe weather and heat advisories.
Wall Street's major indexes closed lower. You're listening to ABC News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
96 degrees at 5:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page's office is under investigation by the Missouri Attorney General. The investigation stems from a mailer sent to county residents earlier this year about Prop B. That proposition would have given the St. Louis County Council the ability to fire department heads appointed by Page. The county used taxpayer money to send out the mailer. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley has introduced the American Worker Rebate Act. It would send rebate checks to working Americans with revenue coming from President Trump's tariff policy. The American Worker Rebate Act would ensure the amount of the rebate is at least $600 per adult and dependent child. A new Illinois bill signed into law this week is designed to keep firearms out of the hands of children. According to State Senator Laura Ellman, who sponsored the bill, 54% of gun owners do not securely lock their firearms, and 82% of adolescent firearm suicides involve a gun belonging to a family member. Ellman says states that have adopted similar firearm storage laws have seen up to a 78% decrease in unintentional shootings by children. Illinois Senate Bill 8 was signed into law this week and goes into effect January 1st. Another new Illinois law will require police departments to share more information on guns found at crime scenes. State Senator Christopher Belt is encouraging local community organizations and education institutions to apply for grants from the Illinois Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program to give more young people a path into the trades. It will support programs that create pathways for underrepresented groups in the construction industry, including women, veterans, and people of color. And St. Louis-based Spire is acquiring Tennessee-based Piedmont Natural Gas, a subsidiary of Duke Energy. The price, $2.48 billion. The deal is expected early next year, pending approval of federal regulators. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. In the markets at close, the Dow down 204 points at 44,632, NASDAQ down 80 at 21,098, and the S&P 500 down 18 at 6,370. Time now for KTRS Sports and Traffic, so let's check in with Paul.
Steve, Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy has been named to the preseason watch list for the Maxwell Award. Hardy rushed for over 1,300 yards a season ago at Louisiana Monroe and figures to be the Tigers' starting running back in 2025. And last night, Andre Palante threw 7 shutout innings in the Cardinals' 7-1 win over the Marlins. Same two teams tonight, with Sonny Gray getting the ball at Busch. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. Eastbound 64 is heavy from Illinois 157 to 159 in Fairview Heights. Southbound 55 is running slow from Potomac to South Broadway. Eastbound 70 bogs down at the depressed section downtown, and westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by Inland Marine. Located in Barnhart, Missouri, Inland Marine is your authorized Mercury Marine dealer. Whether you're looking for a new pontoon or fishing boat, make sure you check out Inland Marine. Find out more at inlandmarineboats.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The region's extreme heat warning will expire at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Otherwise, mostly clear tonight. An overnight low around 78. We have a 30% chance for rain tomorrow afternoon, a high of 96. That chance for rain continues on Thursday, but cooler on Thursday with a high in the upper 70s. Right now at 5:07, sunshine, 96 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
When was the last time you detoxed your body? If you're like most people, the answer is probably never. Toxins accumulate in our bodies every day from pollution in the air we breathe and water we drink, as well as the food we eat, especially if that food includes fast food, processed food, and sugar. How do you know if you're suffering from a buildup of toxins? If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation, then those are all telltale signs. So, how do you detox your body? Well, you can add saunas or juice fasts, but what you really need is Active Liver from New Nordic. Containing a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, Active Liver makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Try Active Liver today and start feeling better with more energy immediately. Active Liver comes in both a delicious gummy or tablet. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or Meijer, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, this is the kind of mistake you want to make. A woman bought a lottery ticket, scratched it off, pretty excited, thought she won $10,000.
Oh, that's nice.
Right?
Yeah, good prize.
You'd be happy.
Sure.
Then she looked at it a second and a third time. It was actually $1 million.
Oh,
She
baby.
miscalculated the zero. She said, I was positive it was only 10 grand. And she said she's still in shock. She chose the cash option and will take home a one-time payment of $650,000 before taxes. Nothing wrong with that. Can you imagine? You're
Very
excited
nice.
already.
Very nice.
You're winning 10 grand and then, wait a minute, is that another zero on there?
We've been talking about Jaws a lot lately, so we were at the grocery store, and the big scratcher kiosk is right there, and they got a Jaws scratcher.
Oh.
So I bought a bunch of them. I lost, but my wife won $50.
$50. How much was the scratcher?
$5.
Okay.
So that's just, one of those things where maybe I'm not in good luck, but I'll just keep buying them for my wife, and hopefully she keeps bringing home the money.
That's a good idea. Well, I'll tell you, it's just devastating news. And I know that the authorities are trying to work to figure out what this New York gunman's motive was. Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent in L.A., joins us with the latest on this story. Just an awful story. And the fact that he was able to walk all the way up those steps carrying that long gun is just shocking.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was people with AirPods in and looking at their phones and not noticing that he was walking right by them with the gun openly displayed there. And it really probably wouldn't have made any difference. Police wouldn't have gotten there in the amount of time it took them to walk through that kind of courtyard area up into the building. But today, police in New York and in Las Vegas, they're working to put it all together. And the shooter's timeline, we know he left his home in Las Vegas. He drove through Colorado on July 26th. They have evidence of that. Then through Nebraska and Iowa, they have evidence there as well. He entered New York City on Monday afternoon and then double parked his car, got out, walked through the sidewalk area up into the front of the building at 345 Park Avenue, and then walked in and began firing. And in a suicide note, it appears that he believed he had CTE from playing high school football in Santa Clarita and in Granada Hills in Southern California, and then moved to Las Vegas, and that he was targeting the NFL headquarters in Manhattan because of his belief that he had CTE. But the elevator that he got into was a wrong elevator. It took him to the 33rd floor, not a floor that the NFL was on. And it was apparently the wrong elevator. He shot in the lobby, got in that elevator, and then fired again on the 33rd floor. This man was inside the building.
From the building, you just see people running. That's what it was. People inside the building were saying that they heard someone, they thought someone fell down the stairs, and then they realized it wasn't just stairs, it was someone shooting a gun.
And among those killed was a New York City police officer, along with a woman named Wesley LePatner, an employee at Blackstone, an investment firm. She was a wife and a mom of two. The shooter had an AR-style rifle. The NYPD is tonight traveling to Las Vegas to begin working on who he bought it from, the parts, execute search warrants. But that note blaming CTE, we know he also had a documented mental health background in Las Vegas, and the NYPD saying,
according to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history.
And guys, the mayor is saying it was eerie watching surveillance video that a woman got out of the elevator that he got into, and he allowed her to walk out after shooting victims in the lobby and then going up to kill more when he got out of the elevator. But he allowed her to just get out of the elevator and walk and live for whatever reason. everybody else he killed who came in contact with him. So they don't understand that. Jessica Chen was trapped in the building, hiding from the shooter.
I texted my parents that I love them. I texted people good in my life that I love them. We were honestly really scared.
The shooter was a casino employee in Las Vegas, had 2 mental health crises, what had been described as holds. Now it seems like maybe more interactions with Las Vegas police in recent years in Nevada. Unclear if those were flagged in his background, and if so, how he was able to get his guns and a concealed carry permit. But today there are bullet holes in the NFL crest in the lobby of the building. Lot they've got to figure out. No indication he had CT, but he wrote in his note, "Study my brain, I'm sorry." He apparently believed he had it.
Alex, what are the red flag laws like in Nevada? Are there any? And that's kind of the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway for me is 2 holds, 2 interactions, 2 anything, and he could still possess these guns?
Yeah, well, federally and locally, that if there was a documented mental health admission into a hospital, that should have been in there. But like we've seen before, and we don't know the details of it yet, if police only responded to somebody saying they were worried about him and he convinced them that he was okay, and that if it was an interaction and not an actual admission into a hospital or a program, then that wouldn't be in his file, and it wouldn't have flagged when a background check was done. But we don't know that yet. And how documented his mental health background was, other than police and apparently family members knowing that he had mental health issues.
Yeah, Alex, that's one of the frustrating things. I mean, obviously the whole incident is, but that he killed himself. Interesting why he killed himself at that moment. I guess he probably realized he was lost and not where he wanted to be, but because you want to get to the bottom of these things and see if you can figure out why this person's brain was broken and hopefully use those answers to help other people. Now it's just some dead innocents, and there's no really resolution to the whole issue.
Yeah, contrary to what happened in Reno yesterday with an active shooter, that really hasn't got a ton of publicity at a casino, where the active shooter walked up and began killing people outside of the valet, and then just a random person driving by. That suspect is still alive, and we assume that we will learn more in that case about what that was all about. But in the situation in New York, the shooter's gone.
Yeah, and do we know how old the gunman was?
27.
Got it.
Shane Tamura, 27 years old.
And at the front of all these buildings, even here in St. Louis, there's always security.
Not only security, but New York City Police, an off-duty officer who was in uniform. NYPD officers are allowed to be in uniform and work off-duty, and he was shot and killed. And there's a lot of security that's going to have to be reviewed, but this was kind of shooting his way into the building, and if somebody with a high-powered rifle shoots his way through anything, what's going to stop them? If the an armed security guard or police officer is caught off guard, and it seems in this case that the NYPD officer went down a hero, but wasn't able to stop him.
Well, I even saw one report that with this high-powered gun, it could go through someone and then still injure somebody on the backside.
Yeah, that no doubt. And again, going back to Reno, the armed security at the casino got into a gun battle with him, and still he was able to kill another person passing by, even in that gun battle. So, in the case of New York, it seems like having an armed police officer there and an armed security guard, I believe was armed as well, did not stop him.
And the pictures of the Blackstone employees barricading themselves in, did you see? I can't believe they had this much furniture in their office.
Yeah, to go up against the doors, and a lot of them are younger, and we've heard it from a number of them saying that they learned in school
how to barricade
to protect
in
themselves against an active shooter.
Yeah, well, it's just a sad, tragic story. Alex Stone, thank you.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right, so you're looking for a new front door, maybe to change the style up a little bit. Maybe you've got some windows that are leaking and aren't very energy efficient, and you'd like to get some new ones. And so you start looking for a window company. Let me tell you about my friend and my neighbor, Larry Thornton from the Window Store. He's been selling windows and doors in St. Louis for 37 years. He has access to all the quality windows and all the quality doors. And unlike so many other window companies, it's not a marketing game. Buy one, get the next 7 free. At the window store, you buy one window, you get one window. But when you compare apples to apples, right, you'll notice that the window store has much better pricing. There is no hard sell. They're not going to stand in the middle of your living room demanding you sign on the dotted line. For 37 years, they've beat everybody on quality, on price, on customer service. If you need windows or doors, that's why you need to call my neighbor, Larry, or his son, Joe, 314-739-0002 or wswindow.net.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, listen closely as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call Comprehensive Integrated Healthcare today for a nerve damage screening. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 636-241-9370. Act now. Call 636-241-9370. Be among the first 10 callers and get this important screening for free. 636-241-9370.
A big KTRS shout out to Lacey Lumber, family owned and family operated since 1872. Lacey Lumber has built the St. Louis metropolitan area. They've worked with builders and contractors and homeowners. They provide building materials from soup to nuts. 2 hardware stores in Belleville ready to serve you. Millwork, insulating material, wallboard, roofing materials, you name it, Lacey Lumber can help because Lacey Lumber is just that much better. LaceyLumber.com.
You're finally ready to renovate your home. Now's the time to start your project to have it completed in time for the holidays. River Bend Kitchen and More specializes in kitchens and baths, but also bars, bookcases, cabinetry, countertops, and more. They work with homeowners, contractors, and developers. Proud supplier of Waypoint Living Spaces cabinets, as well as other quality cabinetry lines. Financing is available. Conveniently located in Soulard, Alton, and Rescuta. Call 314-314-7411. Online at riverbendkm.com.
Hey, St. Louis, now's the time to elevate your health and wellness. Join Club Fitness and unlock the ultimate health club experience, featuring over $600 in added value from our elite wellness partners. Join today at clubfitness.us or visit any of our 19 locations.
Running late for work? Look no further than the captain, Captain Paul Kopsky.
Swashbuckling through your morning commute to get you to work.
And a reminder that the entrance and exit ramps at Page and Lindbergh closed yesterday morning.
Putting his traffic cape on to get you home safely.
One southbound lane of 141 is closed at 64 for road work.
29 years, St. Louis strong. KTRS. Depend on it.
I'm Captain Cousin Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey.
on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob, back in the day on this date, 1958, July 29th, NASA was created. 9 months after Russia launched their first Sputnik satellite. So took 9 months to mobilize, and NASA was created. And then guess what? We beat them to the moon. How about that?
Yes.
I wonder if there was ever any Russians that set foot. There's only like 20-something people that ever stepped on the moon.
Is it even that many?
I wonder if there's a Russian flag up there somewhere. Prince Charles and Lady Diana were married before 2,500 guests at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. They were watched by 700 million guests around the world on television.
It was must-see TV for so many.
Bob, where were you in, I was going to say the moon landing, but where were you when Prince Charles and Lady Diana were married?
I was probably watching a ball game.
It was probably early in the morning before the ball game started.
I know when William and Kate got married, it was middle of the night, early morning.
Yeah.
I watched one of those weddings in the morning. You turn on the news, so I could have been watching.
Well, and then also Princess Diana's funeral.
That's true.
That was a big must-see TV, too.
Yep.
I tell you what, I think maybe it was this last one with Meghan and Harry.
Mm-hmm.
I bet on what color Queen Elizabeth's hat would be.
You bet?
I did. I bet online. I picked yellow.
You might be sick.
I was going to say, or have an issue.
It was lime green. But on TV and a couple of the pictures, it looked pretty yellow.
So you thought you had won the bet.
I had won.
Yeah.
1-800 stop
bets off.
Bets off. 1-800 bets off.
Stop
Josh.
betting.
Yeah. If you're betting on that, maybe.
Catchier than that. Charles and Diana, by the way, were divorced August 28th.
That wasn't on TV.
No.
1996. No,
Just all of the headlines about it.
Yes.
35-year-old Carl Lewis shocked the world by taking gold medal in the long jump in the Atlanta Olympics in 1996. On this date, it was his 9th goal, and it made him one of only 2 athletes ever to win the same event 4 straight Olympics.
Amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
And then in
He was so great.
1970, he was very bad at singing the national anthem, though.
Yeah,
You ever heard
well.
Carl Lewis's national anthem?
Stick to jumping.
Not as bad as Roseanne Barr.
No, not nearly.
1974, Mama Cass Elliott of the Mamas and the Papas died of a heart attack. Here's a weird fact. She died in the same apartment as Keith Moon of The Who.
No.
The apartment was owned by Harry Nilsson.
Is it haunted? It must be haunted now.
In the Mayfair section of London.
Wow.
Pete Townsend ended up buying the apartment and then just kind of renovating it and selling it and just, I guess.
Be done with it.
Harry Nilsson was spending a lot of time in America, and it was just a crash pad for all of his friends.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very
That's
interesting.
weird.
I'll tell you, there's nothing kind of crash patty about my new closet. It is, I mean, it is now a space that I will even bring visitors and say, you got to see this closet because it was done by St. Louis Closet Company. I mean, every detail is thought of when you work with St. Louis Closet Company. I mean, you start out with a designer coming in and kind of just reimagining the space. Is what you have going on, is that kind of what you like, or do you want to have like more shoe storage, or do you want to have some drawers in there? So maybe you don't have space in your bedroom to have a big dresser, to have drawers for all of your T-shirts and your shorts or what have you. I mean, St. Louis Closet Company will come into the closet and basically build you those drawers right there. And these aren't just any drawers. They're the soft close drawers. I mean, it is
one of
so,
those.
oh, it's so nice. But that's another great thing about St. Louis Closet Company is they are building it all right here. I mean, it's the best materials available. This isn't like that particle board. This is the real deal.
wood.
But it's not just beautiful walk-in closets. They can help with linen closets. As I mentioned, shoe storage is just amazing. But maybe you have a coat closet at the front of the house when people come in, and every time you open it right now, things kind of fall out of the door. Well, they can help you with that so that you're actually not kind of kicking stuff in as you open the door. Playrooms, garage storage, mudrooms and lockers, kids closet, even entertainment centers and bookcases. But I'll tell you, one of the things that really impressed me, the Murphy beds and the wardrobe closets. So even if there's a little space in the bedroom, they can help you with a wardrobe closet. I'm telling you, if you can dream it, St. Louis Closet Company can build it. It is amazing. You can give them a call, 314-781-9000. Visit the showroom right there in St. Louis. You can't miss them on Big Ben. Or check them out online and just look at some of the work they've done. stlouisclosetco.com. stlouisclosetco.com.
Hey, Bob, you want to come up and see the closet?
No, thank you. Are you going to be wearing your smoking jacket with an ascot?
Check out those shoes.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right, I wanted to bring this up because I mentioned that we've got the grills, the outdoor grills at the condo down in Gulf Shores.
Right.
Oh, you're
Ones
still on
afraid
that
of.
one.
Ones you're
Okay,
afraid
okay.
of.
But when we go down there, we do about 1 week a year during spring break.
Okay.
And when we get there, we have to buy a bunch of groceries,
You do.
right?
Of course.
That's what we did when we got to Estes Park this year.
There's a new study out that says short-term vacation rental industry, this is the Airbnbs, the people that go and stay for 3, 4, 5 days in your house or in your condo and not at a hotel. The short-term vacation rental industry has a $2.3 billion food waste problem. And I don't know how that equates to my stay or your stay, but I know that every time we leave, there's
food left over.
Frozen pizza that we didn't eat. I can't take that on the plane with me. There's the ketchup that I bought. What am I going to take, a half a bottle of ketchup home? Thankfully, my mom drives down, and some of the foodstuffs, the chips and the cereals and the dry, we
So what's the solution?
Doesn't say. It says
well, that's no help.
One of the things that would help is if you put on the fridge, hey, when you're done, here's a place where you can go compost some of this food so you're not
Or if it's
just
something
throwing it
unopened,
away.
is there a food pantry in the town?
Yeah.
Food pantry. What would you do if you went to a condo and you open it up and there was ketchup and mustard in there?
I'd call the front desk and say, why wasn't this place clean?
No, there is no front desk. It's a condo. Would you use leftover ketchup?
No.
I don't think I would either.
No. Salt and pepper, yes, if they seemed real clean.
Yeah, I don't know that you want to trust just because you don't know who's been there before you and what kind of dirty games they're trying to play.
Yeah.
And
maybe not salt and pepper.
I'm with you guys. But every time I leave, I'm like, I mean, these are barely used condiments. These are barely used, the salt and pepper. We have shakers that we leave down there. People generally trust those. Do I leave behind a frozen pizza? Do I, a couple of Gatorades that I didn't drink? Do I leave them in the fridge?
Here's how weird we are. We go to Estes Park every year, and one of the most fun things is going to the grocery store.
Yeah,
the first day we get there.
It is. And you're so excited.
You're so excited. Oh, all right. So what are we going to have on Tuesday? What are we going to have on Wednesday? And you buy all your stuff. We've spent $500 at the grocery store before. It is the most profitable Safeway in the entire. No, it is.
I believe you.
In the chain. My buddy Dave talks to the manager, and it's the most profitable. Anyway, my point is this year, no kids.
Saved you some money, did it?
Saved some money, but we still overbought. Well, you say, okay, breakfast, so you get a dozen eggs. You ate 5 or 6.
Yes.
You get we kept saying, even though it's a little more expensive, get the tiniest jar of whatever you can find, but you still don't use it all.
Leave half of it.
Yeah, you eat a little bit out of your box of cereal. It is something we need to be better at.
And you can't donate half a box of cereal to the food bank.
No.
You can't donate half a jar of mustard.
Except when you have an RV, you just keep it in the fridge.
And drive on home.
Or the closet, and you get it out when you get home.
But I'm with Bob. My mom, she always gets down there first, and she's like, hey, I'm going grocery shopping. What do you want me to pick up for you guys and Finn? And I'm like, just get the basics for Finn, because I want to grocery shop as soon as
it's so much fun.
I want to get my wine. I want to get my beer. I want to see what the Rouses have that maybe Schnucks and Deerbergs don't.
Now, see, that is so interesting. I want to have it all so I don't have to waste my time going to the grocery store so I can get on the beach or get wherever I'm going and just start socializing.
Yeah, we make it part of the adventure.
I do, too, and I love it. But then here we are, $2.3 billion later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Waste, and more waste. 5:32. Captain Paul, how's traffic looking?
Well, we have an accident on westbound 44 at Antire. Elsewhere, southbound 55 is stop and go at South Broadway. Eastbound 64 bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. And westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. One more First Alert weather day, not just for intense heat, but also a chance for some storms later in the day into the evening that could have a low chance for some isolated pockets of damaging wind. So we'll start the day at 79 degrees, mostly sunny. It's still very hot and humid, a high of 94, heat index up to 105. And by the late afternoon and evening, let's be on guard for some heavy storms and pockets of strong winds. Then Thursday, the heat wave is broken, a high of 80 degrees. That'll feel great. Still going to be a muggy day, but that much cooler temperature will be great. And there's a chance for some showers, about a 40% chance under mostly cloudy skies. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Bill Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbillroofing.com.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer temps sure put our air conditioners to the test. A few years ago, before I knew about Premier Heating and Cooling, our air conditioner was on its last legs. We decided to push the envelope and try to limp through another St. Louis summer before replacing it. We went away on vacation and came back to discover our air conditioning unit had gone on the fritz while we were gone, and we ended up with all kinds of trouble, including warped wood floors. That delay in replacing our worn-out unit was an expensive mistake. If you're limping through and you know it's time for a replacement unit, our friends at Premier Heating and Cooling can take care of you and even work with you on financing. Or if you haven't taken the time to really get your air conditioner checked out and make sure it's operating at peak efficiency, which will really help on your bills and help with the life of your air conditioning unit, Premier Heating and Cooling is the place to go. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net. 636-916-1122.
Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant has been a staple in St. Charles for 35 years. Our comfortable, casual atmosphere offers some of the best comfort food you've ever had. Customers might know our delicious breakfast, but you can have whatever you want, anytime you want, with our full menu 24 hours a day. Nothing warms your heart like Gingham's famous vegetable soup, and we can cater your event, too. If you like homestyle food and great friendly service, you'll love Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
August 4th through the 10th, shop and dine in Maplewood, and you'll be giving back to the community. A portion of your spending will go directly to area nonprofit organizations. Don't miss out, mark your calendar, and join the Maplewood community of makers in giving back. Let's make a difference together. For more information, visit maplewoodmo.gov/fun. That's maplewoodmo.gov/fun.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk a little entertainment news. George Stephanopoulos was a little late for work this morning for good reason. He got stuck in an elevator on his way to the Good Morning America studio. He was stuck for over an hour, had to be rescued by the fire department, and they sent a ladder through the ceiling to get him out. He said he answered a lot of emails and read the New York Times while he waited. Now, on air, he gave Good Morning America viewers a play-by-play of his eventful morning, saying, "I was coming into the building with the man who keeps me safe, Richie. We got into the freight elevator and got to the second floor, and it just stopped. Thankfully, it was between the second and third floor. I think that'd be a lot more calming than
like
if you're on the
80th.
Yes, and you don't know if that thing's going to accidentally drop or not. But he eventually made it to the studios and did the rest of the show.
Were you ever late to work on TV, either one of you?
No, but I have a recurring dream where I can't get my show finished.
Yeah, that's
and I'm scrambling, and I haven't turned the scripts in, and it's time, and I have that.
Yeah.
Not infrequently, not all the time, but yeah.
Well, there were plenty of times where you're in place, though, and something goes wrong, and you're supposed to pop up, and you're not. And so then, and I would say, that especially when I was hosting, all of a sudden you're supposed to toss somewhere, and that reporter's not there, or something has happened. One of the craziest times, because I was new at the time and hadn't done a lot of TV yet, and we used to do these Fox specials where we would go to the city or two before they would bring a musical to the city, and I think this time it was Lion King. And so we had done a 30-minute special, and our hosts are all ready to go, and power went out, and I'm outside on Grand, on the sidewalk, ready for my story. But my story isn't even the first story up, and so I had to do the entire intro to the beginning of this 30-minute special.
Oh, my goodness.
And toss to it and go, because I was the only camera that was up and had audio.
I can just hear the GM. This kid's got the goods.
Right. That's when your heart starts beating really fast.
She didn't say it was a good toss.
Oh.
She didn't say it was a good open.
I still had a job.
And then he said he read the New York Times. I'm going to go ahead. In my head, I pictured it was the paper.
Yeah.
When you live in an apartment building in New York or wherever, and you get the paper delivered, it's not outside your door, right?
It's usually at the front.
In the lobby?
Well, there's usually a doorman, or it depends on, depends what your service is. Or maybe somebody brings it up to your door. Depending on how much you're paying, it's delivered.
I feel
this
like
is blowing your mind.
I was going to say, first it's the charcoal, and those things really are used.
The newspaper guys throw it out their van as they drive.
They don't
Not
live
in New
subdivisions in New York.
Yeah, Josh, not the
But
same.
surely they can't go into a building and go to every floor
Well, you're
and
right.
drop
That's
it
what
at
I
every
was saying.
door.
They drop it, the doorman grabs it,
then
brings it
goes
in,
up.
and then maybe someone takes it up to the different
Or you have to grab
rooms
it down by
on
your
your
mailbox.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 3 things that have blown his mind today? We're going
No,
to
it's
start
only 2.
keeping
It was only 2.
track. No, there was something else that was.
I love the fact that you're so inquisitive about life.
Right?
Now, I was going to say naive, but that's you see it one way and I see it another.
Just asking a question. Finn asks me questions all the time.
He's 4.
I'm like, great question, buddy.
He's 4.
I don't know the answer. I'll ask Bob and Heidi tomorrow.
Oh, boy. Seth Meyers is uncertain about the future of his late night show amid the changing TV landscape. He recently talked with Dak Shepard on his Armchair Expert podcast in an episode that, get this, was recorded before CBS pulled the plug on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So this makes it even more interesting than when he actually uttered these words. He said, when asked if he fears for late night's long-term viability, he said, yeah, I mean, only because it's such a time we're living in as far as the entertainment industry. He also said that his anxiety about the show's future no longer relates to his individual performance every night. He said, there's this weird thing that I feel has shifted from fearing that I wouldn't be good enough, and now the fear is weirdly more outside of my control, which, at some point the ecosystem just might not support late night TV.
It's
which
actually a pretty good observation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He said, I guess that's better than thinking it's all your fault, but it's
Right.
weird not to feel any control over it whatsoever. So,
Join the real world.
yeah, right? You just don't know. Beyonce keeps smashing country records, even if some don't consider her recent work country. The Cowboy Carter tour just wrapped, and now she owns the record for the highest grossing country tour of all time. She made $407 million over 32 shows. That is 1.6 million tickets sold. Beyonce is now the first woman and first American artist ever to have 2 tours that crossed the $400 million mark. The first was her Renaissance World Tour in 2023. The previous record for the largest country tour of all time was held by Zach Bryan, which is shocking to me. Made over $321 million for his Quitting Time tour, and then now you have Morgan Wallen's One Thing at a Time tour in third place. It made $300 million. So we'll see. A fan took a video of Miranda Lambert on stage in Seattle. Have you seen it? It shows a lot of her.
Yeah, very cheeky.
Yes, very cheeky. It's a
Who is
bit
this?
of
I better
her
look this up.
rear. Miranda
for journalism's sake.
Lambert. Of course, the video has now gone viral, and this is why I'm telling you this story, because I do love this. The most liked comment: now we know why the front row is so expensive. Which I think that's pretty funny.
I think that fan was down below beneath her, and that wasn't a very fair video to be taking of her.
Well, no, it's not, but That's where the seats
That's
are.
where the seats
and
are.
if you're going to wear a skirt
that short,
that close,
That's what happens.
It's one of those things. The new Meet the Parents movie has an official title. Got to be very careful.
You want to spell?
Focker-in-law. Original franchise cast members Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Terry Polo, Blythe Danner, Owen Wilson, all are back to star in it alongside Ariana Grande. However, the film is not going to be in theaters until November 25th, 2026. So don't get too excited just yet.
Well, it's not that far off.
I mean, it's over a year.
Yeah.
Season 51 of Saturday Night Live kicks off on October 4th. We don't have a word on the cast. We don't know who's going to host it yet. We just know when it's going to kick off. We can probably assume Kenan Thompson will be back.
Can I offer an editorial?
Yes.
Because I know it's been the cool thing since the original cast left.
Mm-hmm.
This season's terrible. Pick a year.
Yep.
It's not funny like it used to be. The cast is not as good as it used to be. I got to tell you, I really like this cast.
I do too.
I think there's some really talented people. I think they do a marvelous job. Do all the sketches hit? No, but that's more the writers than the cast.
Most of them do.
I think most of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, even
I thought
some
it was
of
a
the
great season.
Even some of the newer ones, like I can't think of her first name, Padilla.
Yes.
And I just think it's a really good cast, and so I guess that puts me in the nerd category
I'm with
the cool
you.
kids want to trash it every year.
I'll tell you, it's hard to name the cast members though. There's Mikey Day, Chloe Fineman.
We like Chloe,
Heidi Gardner.
Heidi, we love.
Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan, of course. Longfellow.
There's that. Yeah, Michael Longfellow. I was going to say that one guy.
Yeah, he's kind of darkly funny.
Yes,
I like him.
he is.
You got Che, and you got Scarlett's husband.
Uh-huh.
What about the three kids that do the videos?
Oh, they're hilarious.
Yeah. Fun. I think we just named quite a few of them.
Okay. All right.
There seems to be a new it couple in Hollywood. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Did you see him on the Today Show today?
I did, and they were leaning in.
They were leaning in.
They appear to be dating after striking up a romance on the set of their new movie, The Naked Gun. And I will say, every clip I've seen seems funny.
Very funny.
I mean, I really want to go see it, and I want to go see it in the theater. It's a budding romance in the early stages. A source told People magazine it's clear they're smitten with each other. Now, they initially played coy about their relationship status on the Today Show this morning, but Liam then said they have a lovely budding chemistry. We decided this is nice. Let's not mull this. Let's let it breathe. So that's what we did, he shared. And then he added, we're both silly. We discovered a silly bone in each other. And he was kind of gushing over her. He said, it was great to be with this lady. Seriously, every day was a joy.
They get every picture you see, they're very snuggly.
Yes, they are. And then even in the tease, before they sat down with the Today Show, they were making out, either faking making out, but it was still, okay, what's going on here?
You Magazine. I don't know what this is. Pamela, they were on the cover. Pamela Anderson says, I'll follow him anywhere. Liam Neeson says, he loved the sex scenes the best.
Yeah.
Which is in line with the humor of this very stupid movie.
Yes.
I mean, it just, like, there's the one where he says, take a chair, and she walks out carrying the chair. I'm like, okay. And everybody says, if you did like the originals, it's
I hope so.
Fantastic.
I think we'll go this weekend.
Yeah.
Or when is it out? Is it out this weekend or next weekend?
I think it's this weekend,
I
but
think
I
it's
have to
this
look.
weekend. Max saw it, and Max on Movies on Thursdays. We're going to be on remote.
Yes.
But he's going to call in or dial in from
Are we
the
going to talk
studio.
about it?
We're going to talk about spoof movies.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Looking forward to that. That'll be
And
fun.
He says they date all the way back to Abbott and Costello.
Okay.
Oh,
A
Evan
little
Costello,
history.
Meet Frankenstein.
Meet Frankenstein.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. I love that movie. Anyway.
All right. Looking forward to that. As for TV tonight, America's Got Talent. The auditions are on NBC. The first season finale of Destination X is on NBC. Has anybody watched this where people didn't really know where they are and they had to figure it out?
It looked interesting, but I never have turned
I
it
watched
on.
the end of one episode and I thought, I should have watched this from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think, I know landmarks. I'll be able to do it.
And
I bet
you're
not.
random places, and then there's clues, but
I think I could do it, but do you only have one shot at it? Like if I say Rome and they say no, am I out?
well, you're traveling to the next place. So it's it's not just one destination. You're at,
Let's do it together. Tell them we want to go.
Yeah,
we want on.
Or if we don't do that, we'll be on Amazing Race. Me and Bob.
Oh, I cannot wait to see it.
Well,
I will
we'll
be
bunk
front
together.
and center.
We'll do all of our traveling together.
Let's slow down a little.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Slow down.
I've
Good
got
luck,
half
Bob.
the application filled out.
The series premiere of WWE Unreal is on Netflix, a behind-the-scenes docuseries about the show's production, including the writer's room and even visiting some of the stars' homes. So that could be interesting.
I didn't see it because I don't catch up on Monday Night Raw, but apparently they did a really nice tribute of Hulk Hogan.
Oh, as they should.
I'd like to see the list of characters that came out for that.
Yeah. All right, let's do some birthdays. Anything good?
Let's do some birthdays. Here's a musical one. We think. So that is a duet that includes my favorite, Ray Wiley Hubbard, and he did a duet with
Ashley McBride.
Yeah, you knew it. I think she knows already.
How'd she know?
Because that's Ashley McBride's voice.
Okay.
I am so impressed, Heidi.
I love Ashley McBride.
Buried in the background. That was good.
She's got a unique voice.
Okay.
And they were really good together.
Yeah.
And he's funky. I mean, I know everybody's not going to be into him,
Yeah.
but they became friends. They met and became friends, and she wanted to do that with him.
That's good.
Have you ever heard of his song that was for him kind of a hit, Snake Farm? No, anyway.
I
That was
want
out
to
there.
now, though.
So at the end of this song, she just kind of giggles and says, Snake Farm. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool. Anyway, so that's all leading up to how old is Ashley McBride?
I think she's 40 today.
I'd say 44.
Right in the middle, 42.
42.
Here's one for some of our listeners that are of a certain age. Rodney Allen Rippey. He was the cute little kid, Jack in the Box commercials.
Oh.
He ended up being on Carson. Just a really cute little cherubic little kid. Anyone?
I'm going to say he's 48.
No, I don't even know. I got to look this kid up. Rodney Allen Rippey. No guess.
You got to guess.
I don't know who he is.
Well, I said, going all the way back, I think he was on Carson. He went back a ways. You don't recognize him?
No.
Really cute. Okay. What did you guess?
48.
57. Can you believe it? How time is going by.
It does fly.
Speaking of Carson, we've got our Carson book author on tomorrow at 5:10.
I can't wait.
I can't either. He
'Cause that is
wrote
weird, wild
the
stuff.
book. Yeah.
Carson the Magnificent just came out last year.
The Karnak. I got to talk to him about Karnak.
It'll be interesting.
Oh, last one. Martina McBride.
Oh.
This is right in Heidi's wheelhouse. You're going to have to steal it, Josh.
Oh, Independence Day, big 4th of July song, Martina McBride.
58.
56.
59. You got it. Heidi, what a day for
Oh,
Heidi.
all right. It is 8 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, there's an accident on westbound 44 at Antire with a stop and go back up to 141. Estimated clearance time is 6:30. Eastbound 64 bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend, and westbound 64 is busy in front of Forest Park. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House located in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch, happy hour, or even plan your next event at the Rack House. Featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I got to tell you, looking around the house, kind of, just surveying a little bit, and noticed a little nick in the siding. I'm like, well, is it time to do siding? That's on our garage. It's not the house. But when it is time, I'm turning to Dalco Home Remodeling because they can do a little bit of everything when it comes to your house. They can do your roof. They can do your siding. Check. They can do energy-saving vinyl replacement windows. They can do doors, and not just your front door, but they can make a beautiful front door. I mean, you can do a window above it. You can do windows on one side. You can do windows on both to allow you more light into that foyer. But then they can also do beautiful French doors and sliding doors, whatever it is that you need or in some cases want. And then you can also have them come in and give a free estimate on how much it would be to redo your entire bathroom. And Dalco Home Remodeling is going to hold your hand through the whole thing because customer service is at the top of the list when it comes to what they do well. DalcoHomeRemodeling.com or give Dalco Home Remodeling a call, 314-648-8113.
A message from the master. If you are looking for that one-of-a-kind gift this year, come on in to Newssetter's Fine Jewelers. Let Richard draw your future present for somebody you love. This special engraving lasts a lifetime. At the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
It's one of baseball's fiercest rivalries, the Cubs versus the Cardinals, and the action returns to Busch Stadium the weekend of August 8th through the 10th. Feel the heat, the history, and the excitement as these two legendary teams battle it out under the summer lights. 3 big games, 2 historic teams, 1 electric atmosphere you won't want to miss. Great seats remain. Secure yours today at Cardinals.com.
This is Wilson Contreras, St. Louis Cardinals, for the Lou.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game, it's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing, online at aroofing.net.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnhart has been serving your boating needs for 38 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids.
Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey.
on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully, you'll meet us right back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Whatever gets you through the night. It's all right. It's all right. Bet your money all you like. It's all right. It's all right.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
An official message from Medicare.